What's going on YouTube? This is your boy D Wayne bringing you another video at this time. So basically what I'm going to be doing with you guys today is giving you two discussions. One is going to be a card profile for Chaofeng illusion of the Yang Zings. Also I'm going to be giving you a deck profile of my Yang Zings as well. So basically let's get right into it. Firstly the card profile and then the deck profile. Alright, so let's go. Alright, so Chaofeng, Illusion of the Yang Zing, is a level 9 light worm type single with 2800 attack, 2200 defense, requiring 1 tuner and 1 or more non-tuner monsters. So its effect reads, if this card was synchro summoned, your opponent cannot activate effects of monsters whose attribute is the same as the original attributes of Yang Zing monster used as synchro materials for this card. His second effect reads, when this synchro summon card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can add 1 tutor monster from your deck to your hand. Last effect reads, once per turn, when a monster your opponent controls is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 worm type monster with the same attribute as the monster from your deck in face up defense position. So we have 3 very interesting effects here. So let's go over each effect individually. Let's start off with the first one. Reading it off again, if this card was synchro summoned, your opponent cannot activate effects of monsters whose attribute is the same as the original attributes of Yang Zing monster used as synchro materials for this card. Guys, that first effect alone, if it only had that effect alone, I'd be good with it. But it has 2 other effects that goes with this solid effect. Now let's get into more details specific about this card. So obviously you have archetypes that are, a lot of them are attribute specific, namely the Qliphorts that are Earth, Shadows and Burning Abyss, which are dark, Satellarknights and Light Ones, which are light. So all you will basically have to do is synchro summon this card using any of those attributes as materials for this card, and your opponent is basically stuck, not being able to activate their monster effects. So they would literally have to rely on their spell and trap effects in order to clear this monster off the field. In the case of Qliphorts, they can basically rely on their skill drain and stuff to help them get their attack power up, since when they're normally summoned to the field, their attack is 18, so they would have to activate their skill drain in order to get them to high enough attack to attack over this card, whatever the case may be. So they can't tribute summon because, when they're tribute summoned, their effects activate. And even if they're tribute summoned, effects won't be able to activate to pop spell traps, to bounce monsters, especially summon other Qlis from the deck, and so on and so forth. So basically they will have to rely on their brute strength to get over this card. In the case of Burning Abyss and Shadows, basically there's not really much they can do short of their fusion summoning of Construct, to try to get over. But if you use a light and this card's synchro summoning, Construct can't activate her effect, and it can't auto kill the monster since the effect can't activate, period. In the case of their regular dark monsters, they can't activate either their flip summon effects nor their graveyard bound effects as well, which is pretty good. Love shutting down those decks. In the case of Burning Abyss can't special summon their monsters from hand. Even if they normal summon their tour guides or whatever, if a dark monster was used as one of the materials for this card, tour guide can't activate her effect. Damn, it just basically shuts down the deck. They can't really do much. In the case of Satellarknights, basically stopping them from, activating effects. They can exceed summon if they can't summon their monsters, because they basically all revolve around special summoning each other, i.e. through Vega or through what's this, Altair's effect, to summon their monsters so they can go into the exceed place. So basically, if they can't summon their monsters to go into exceed plays, they can't really do much else. So being able to shut down those decks is amazing. This is definitely the card that Yang Zings need to get themselves on the map, because this archetype is not really respected among the people who play the quote top tier decks, they don't really respect the Yang Zings because it's so slow, and you know all they have to do is just go from like 0 to 100 and it'll just stop Yang Zings just like that. But now they can't really do that because if this card is synchroned on the first turn, which it can be, it essentially will stop those decks cold. So yeah, that is the first effect. Solid, very solid first effect. Now let's read over its second effect. When it's synchro summon card, destroy a battle or card effect, you can add one tuna monster from your deck to your hand. So it gives Yang Zings some searchability because they never had really any searchability before because they usually just search each other out from the deck and stuff. So now this will allow you to get a tuna monster from your deck to your hand, preferably Jiaotu or Chaiwen. Most likely Jiaotu because you would want to get to summoning your Jiaotu, ditching your cards, special summoning, and synchro rank some more. So that's pretty good on that end. Also, Mass Chameleon is also running this deck as well, so it can get you your Mass Chameleon, so you can summon your Mass Chameleon on your next turn, special summon something else, and then synchro. So that's pretty good as well, having the ability to search and get you to your combo pieces, so you can do more synchro shenanigans, of course. Alrighty, so that is that. So last effect reads: once per turn, when a monster your opponent controls is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon one worm type monster with the same attribute as the monster from your deck in face-up defense position. I think that's pretty cool too, because it this deck revolves around maintaining field presence, so this basically it sticks to that theme very well. I like that. So in the case of Shadows or Stellanites, you'll be summoning a Jiaotu. So Telenites, you'll be summoning a Jiaotu, not a Jiaotu, a Chaiwen. In case of Clears, Fire Kings, those are Beyond and Suwani respectively. Alright, so basically it doesn't really matter because they comprise all 5 attributes of whatever monster you're destroying by battle, whatever attribute it is, you have a monster for that attribute. So it's a really, really good effect as well. So wow, this definitely is an amazing card, and it's not that difficult to summon. You can make level 9s easily with this deck. One way is to through Mass Chameleon's effect. You can basically, if you have a Tao Tai in the graveyard, you can summon Mass Chameleon, special summon a Tao Tai from your grave because it has 0 defense, and then you can sync her up into this card. If you have a Jiaotu, you can ditch, summon a Beyond, not a Beyond, Big Shi and a Suwani from the deck, and then if you have a Chaiwen in your hand, summon a Chaiwen and then sync up for 9. You get a spell immune, 3200 attack, trap immune monster that stops dark, wind, water, and fire. 4 effects, solid. Plus all the extra effects it gets on top of that. So the card has a lot of potential for the deck. I like it a lot. Very, very, very solid card. I'm definitely looking forward to when this card comes to the TCG. I know I'm getting them. I don't know about you guys, but I know I'm getting them. Alright, so anyway. Oh, very, very solid card. I like it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you have your thoughts, I would love to hear them. Alright, because I'm sure there are plenty of Yang Zing players out there. Let me know what you guys think of this card. Alright, so I'll leave it at that. So now what I'm going to do now is give you guys my deck profile for the Yang Zings. Alright, so give me a sec. Let me set up. Alright. Alright. Just this camera. Alright. Here we go, guys. Alright, first we have 3 Chaiofengs, of course. Your standard level 1 tuner, of course. 3 Chaotus. I don't know what's up with people in their ratios for these two. Doesn't make any sense to me. You run 3 of each. That's pretty standard for the deck. You need these tuners in order to really run the deck. So it doesn't make any sense to have any less than 3 of them in order for this deck to run. You have 3. That's it. No clogginess because they can all search each other. They're fine in hand. They're fine in deck. So it doesn't matter where you have these cards at. You're still going to be able to use them. So you don't have to really worry about clogging. So I don't really get the reasoning behind that. Alright, so that's that. Anyway, next. That's 3 Swanee, beater of the deck, of course. You guys already know. Synchro material gives it 500. Gives the synchro 500 attack and defense. Right. 3 Pixie. Synchro monsters unaffected by traps. Keeping it simple. 3 Beyonds. Synchro monsters are unaffected by battle, or rather, cannot be destroyed by battle. Right. 2 Plows. Synchro monsters unaffected by spells. I think these are better now than when they first came out, because now we have 2 Dark Holes, Snatch Steel, Raigeki, Monarch Stormforth, and some of the old cards like Snatch Steel, not Snatch Steel, Enemy Controller and Creature Swap and stuff like that. All those cards are really running rampant now, so now we're gonna have to boost these up now. I'm thinking about putting a 3rd, because I think it's more necessary now than it's ever been before. Alright, so that is that. And 1 effect Veiler to negate some monster effects. Alright, so that's the monster count. Now we're going to go into the spells. 2 Zing Paths. I think 3 is definitely going to be necessary. I'm going to bump this up to 3. No thoughts. No nothing. No doubts. No nothing. I'm going to bump this up to 3. Alright, so that's that. 3 MSTs. Vanities, all the annoying trap cards that we have to deal with, they're out there. So MSTs to help deal with that. 2 Forbidden Chalices. Good for negating monster effects, of course, because they're all the rage right now. So and this deck is susceptible to monster effects. So at least until Chaiofeng comes out. So this is good to hold this down in the meantime. I run 2 Supply Squads. Why not take advantage of our monsters being destroyed and stuff? Because there are plenty of ways to destroy our monsters if the opponent is not helping us. So why not be able to take advantage by drawing from our destruction and stuff, right? So that's why I play 2 Supply Squads. We have the 1 Soul Charge. You guys already know what Soul Charge does. It does its job. And 1 Dark Hole. I feel only 1 Dark Hole is necessary. 2 is a bit excessive for my taste, so basically I'll stick with 1 Dark Hole. Alright, that is the spells. Now we're going to go into the traps. 3 Zing Creation. Absolutely necessary for the deck. I don't see this being at anything other than 3. Alright, so that's that. 2 Colored Haunteds. I think this is another very important card for the deck. As you're going to be synchroing a lot, and you're going to have monsters in your graveyard to revive with this. So why not have the means necessary to revive them and continue your synchro shenanigans from there, right? 2 Breakthrough Skills. Same thing with Forbidden Chalice, of course. Except this has 2 uses. 1 on your turn, 1 on the opponent's turn, and 1 on your turn. Alright, so it's pretty good. 2 Deep Prisms. Yeah, I know no one's running battle traps anymore, but I do. And no one expects it, so why not run it for the elements of surprise factor? Why not? One bottomless and one torrential for staples. Alright, so that is the main deck. We're gonna go into the extra deck. One Misper Colossus. Synchro through Chaiwen and Bixie. Negates the effects of one monster and reduces it to 0. Pretty good. One Belmont. I like Belmont. I like going Chaiwen and BN, putting this in defense mode and watch the opponent try to get rid of this, which they can't. They only could do it through card effect, and which when that happens, you get the special summon something from the grave, which is pretty good. One Herald of Arclight. Basically, this plus Boxia equals GG for Burning Abyss. Pretty good. One Armides, because this is Armides. Pretty gangster card. One Goyo. Happy for it to be back. That too, but I feel I only need one, because one is only necessary. Only thing necessary for me. Alright? One Black Rose. Black Rose is Black Rose. Two Yazis. One of my favorites, of course, as I've explained to you guys plenty of times. You guys already know how I feel about Yazi. Awesome card all around. Alright, that's that. Two Boxias. As I already know about Boxia, you know what he does. He clears fields and wins games on its own. Alright, so let's go. One Sprout Dragon. One BLs. One of the hardest cards to get around, yo. Especially if you have him spell immune. Opponent can't really do much to him. So it's pretty good. One Hot Red Dragon Archfiend. Destroys those attack position monsters. Especially if he's trap immune with 500 extra attack. So basically he clears out the field and smacks in the face for 35. Pretty good. I like him. We got one Leo. And one Star Eater. Alright, so that's that. That is the deck, guys. It's been a while. I haven't done the deck profile in so long. It's kind of crazy to do one again. It's feeling really nostalgic, but you know, it's all done. There it is. Alright guys, let me know what you think about everything. I'd love to hear you guys' opinions on the new cards that are coming out in the Crossover Souls pack, my deck profile, whatever it is you guys feel like talking about. I'm on my YouTube very often, so talk to me. Let me know what's going on, alright? So I'll keep it short. Keep it like that. So I'll be bringing you more videos in the meantime, but until then, pieces, YouTube.